Sustaining PNG's rich natural resources. Mineral Resources Development Company, trustee of the People's Resources of Papua New Guinea. MRDC Investments and Community Initiatives. Investing for Papua New Guinea's future generations and national development is Mineral Resources Development Company's, MRDC's current approach. For those in the mining and petroleum industry, PNG should be your next investment destination, and MRDC will gladly be a partner to your success. MRDC's vision is to become the leading management company in Papua New Guinea and the region, enhancing the wealth and improving the quality of life for our beneficiaries. With a mission to provide prudent and efficient management of equity and royalty interests for landowners and provincial governments in resource project areas. This is achieved through acquiring and maximizing the value on current and future investments, establishing strategic alliances with resource companies in the identification, documentation and promotion of exploration activities, and advising and facilitating participation of landowners and provincial governments in sustainable business and community development. By upholding our mission, MRDC has provided an efficient and competent management of equity interests in areas of mining and petroleum activities for the state and the landowners. Maximizing the wealth of our shareholders through investing in profitable and economically attractive mining and petroleum projects is MRDC's concern.
Mineral Resources Star Mountain Limited has about 2.5% interest in Octedi, and basically the beneficiaries are the landowners around Octedi. It was set up about 12 years ago, and since 2006, from a net worth of about less than 100 million, it has gone to more than 250 million. As of 2011, and one of the challenges is that trying to give benefits to our beneficiaries. So since 2008, we've been paying regular dividends. We've started with 4 million in 2008, and it has increased to 10 million. And since then, we've been paying dividends along that figure. And also the difficult things that we have is now, after 2011, is trying to find a balance on making them more independent. And since 2008, we have invested in companies like you have Fibulin Catering Services, which provided all the catering in the project. We've also invested in Tabubul Engineering, and now the company's grown from just 200 employees. It's gone to more than 700, and it is growing very, very fast. Now they have most of the major contracts in Octedi, and the management in Octedi have a lot of confidence in them, and the interesting thing is they're branching out. So operationally, they're doing very well, and the future looks better. And for me, the legacy of the landowners is building the capacity for companies like this, and they can be independently managed and expand to the rest of Papua New Guinea.
Companies that MRDC manages are Mineral Resources Star Mountain, Mineral Resources Octedi No. 2, Mineral Resources Medang, Petroleum Resources Kutubu, Petroleum Resources Moran, and Petroleum Resources Gobe. They are also newly established companies who will participate in the PNG LNG project, Gas Resources Heights, Gas Resources Gigira, Gas Resources Juha, Gas Resources Angore, Gas Resources Kutubu, Gas Resources Gobe, Gas Resources Moran, and Gas Resources Northwest Moran. MRDC current interests and investments. The following highlights various resource projects in the country that MRDC has stakes in. 7% in the Islands Pacific Limited, and 6.44% in the Ramu Nickel project. Landowner and provincial government interests managed by MRDC under management agreements are 3.05% in the Oktedi Mine, Fly River Provincial Government, 3.05% in the Oktedi Mine, landowners, 5% in the Pogera Gold Mine, 6.75% in the Kutubu Oil Project, 2% in the Gobe Oil Project, 2% in the Moran Oil Project, 3.94% in the Mineral Resources Ramu Limited, and 2.5% Mineral Resources Medang landowners. MRDC shifted away from being a passive investor to a proactive yet a prudent investor, positioning itself for growth, recently diversifying investment portfolios to the real estate sector in PNG and abroad. Such investment is the acquisition of the Pearl South Pacific Resort in Fiji for 34 million kina in a joint venture with Petroleum Resources Kutubu, PRK, owning 50% each. An official ceremony welcoming the new owners of the resort was witnessed by dignitaries from PNG. MRDC and Petroleum Resources Kutubu acquired the resort, which includes the hotel business, a golf course, and apartments from Pacific Arbor Enterprises Limited. MRDC group of companies have also invested in Avilift by acquiring 50% of shares in the company. MRDC is now the single largest unit holder, with 74% interest in the Pacific Property Trust, in which the trust has total assets portfolio of over 100 million kina. MRDC also takes pride in implementing community initiative projects for the benefit of the community in resource project areas. The construction of a double-story classroom at Wangbin Community School in Tabubil, Western Province, a community project facilitated by MRDC.
This belai mi mambla concern belong all community, as because only talk education important. Every beginning you must cut right long kisim degree. Now go all the way to overseas. Like you go along Howard University along America, or you go along Cambridge, British long all people country of England. Plani belum people no go through long sila. Or say now people like him education must priority now long sila mind. Giving back program, give education. Because education that's all by making people got good for the future.
Through an initiative of MRDC, PRK funded the construction of the building for Bank South Pacific to bring banking services closer to the people in Kutubu, and now PRK owns the building. Opening bank accounts, depositing funds and accessing them may sound simple, but it can be a rather onerous and highly demanding task for the relatively uneducated natural resources landowners in the rugged and remote parts of PNG.
Now, thank you all MRDC, been Sabadim Bank, all IOC chairmen, can pick him all money flow here. We thank you all MRDC. Now, some support MRDC you saw making, we thank you. Now, management flow YouTube, we thank you, you blood, or Sabadim, you blood. Lord Papa Ground, Lord Tisplamboro, Amoran, Kobe, we thank you, all community, we thank you, you blood. So Sabadim, or rarity goodies, we play up local Kissimindi. Mostly one map that's all you put me blood down Lomoro, bank lo here, we thank you through you blood.
MRDC with PRK have also assisted the Kikori General Hospital with much needed supplies and 2 ambulances to help with transporting patients from the villages that are accessible by roads. To help build the education for the future generation, MRDC has built a double classroom in Nipa. This brought the whole Nipa village community to celebrate. MRDC has also built a library for the Tulum Primary School, Mendi District in Southern Islands Province. It was of such importance as the school lacked a library, and both parents and students came together to celebrate the opening of the library.
And I just want to take this opportunity to thank MRDC, who has a heart for these children in this area, although these communities, they don't have any minerals, but because of their heart being given to this school, they have given us this new library, which is very, very, I can say it's very fantastic, where it helps the children and teachers to improve the children's learning.
We've given one similar project to Kagwa Herave district, in the Kagwa district, which is Pakure Primary School. A similar project has been given to Campbell Community School in the Webso of the Nipa district. There's another one given to Unakos Primary School in the Lower Lai and Lower Mendi area of Southern Highlands as well. We've also donated a vehicle to Buyebi High School, which is all part of community projects which MRDC is trying to reach out to the communities that haven't benefited from the projects and seeing the need and the plight of some of the people.
Another interesting activity that MRDC has carried out in early 2012 is the official groundbreaking ceremony for the Kikori Bank project. A ceremony that saw many from the Southern Islands joining with the people of the Kikori area in celebration of a long-awaited service for the people.
Thank Emino of giving service to Lennon Station. Emino something Lennon Station. And by saving everybody, surrounding communities, public servants in Kikori, in Paimuru, and will also save our brothers up at Zembreki.
One important activity that also took place in early 2012 is MRDC playing a key role in successfully resolving a land dispute of about 20 years on the island of Misima in the Mumbai province. The dispute has been a major setback for the people on the island. MRDC took on the challenge, and after much work, it took about 2 weeks for all parties to come to a satisfactory resolution.
The lesson for us in the precedent we've set in Misima is that we have substantial amount of money for other landowners which are held in trust, and it has been going on for some of them for the last 15-20 years, depending on the life of the project. So with that can be a lesson. We can use that to try to resolve the disputes through the same kind of process. And what is important for us as MRDC and also for the state is that we have the PNG LNG project coming, and there's no proper social mapping in terms of identification, and with that it comes with identification of the leadership. So it is critical that we need a very integral and a very the process that gives credibility in terms of identifying who the landowners are and also who the landowner leaders are. In that way, it can minimize a lot of these problems we have at the project site and bring stability back. And it is a time bomb that needs to be addressed before 2014, before the actual benefits come to the PNG LNG project. We need to address that, and I think through this process in the mediation that we've had, if we can have an ADR that addresses these issues, I think we can solve most of the problems we have right now at the PNG LNG project.
Later during the year, in September 2012, MRDC met with Misima Island landowners to finally transfer Oil Search shares and distribute dividends from these shares in accordance with the Misima Mediation Agreement, MMA. MRDC representative Kini Ranagi, who met with the leaders, said the visit was significant as it also meant MRDC was closing its file on Misima. Challenges that Mineral Resources Development Company faces is the landowners' expectations, which are always high, in terms that managing those expectations between different projects are difficult by the fact that many of our landowners lack understanding of commercial and business aspects. Finding a balance between business and commercial needs of a modern corporation and the director's role in meeting their traditional leadership obligations is an ongoing challenge that MRDC is addressing. However, the experience has been rewarding. MRDC is now a trusted partner in development for the people. Landowner companies are now investing tens of millions of kina together with MRDC within PNG and the Asia-Pacific region. Diversifying investments for sustainable growth to enhance the wealth and quality of life for our beneficiaries in Papua New Guinea is our vision we look to achieve when the non-renewable resources sector is exhausted. MRDC, trustee of the people's resources of Papua New Guinea.